Hi everyone, my name is Prince John Enjambre and I'm here to demonstrate the forward or reverse circuit. So now let's see the paper. So here is the forward circuit and that is the reverse circuit too. So now let's see the components. So the components are first is the circuit breaker. So here is the circuit breaker, and the next is the push buttons. This is the push buttons, and the next is the magnetic contactors, and then overload relay, and the last part is the motor. So these are the components that we use in the forward reversed circuit. So that's all for this. Let's start. Hi everyone, so now let's start first a star connection first. So now let's put the wire into the connection line 1 of the circuit breaker, and then connection 2, and next is the connection 3. So the next part is we're going to connect the wires of the circuit breaker into the magnetic contactor, which is the line 1 into the line 1 of the circuit of the magnetic contactor, and line 2 into the line 2 of the magnetic contactor, and so on and so forth. So that's it. We're going to connect the wires, and next is we're going to connect the wires into the magnetic contactor into the overload relay to line 1 to line 1 of the overload relay, and so on and so forth. So the last part will be the thermal overload relay into motor. So T1 is into the U1 connection of the U1. So T2, let's find big wires. So first is the T1 to U1, and then T2 is to V1, and then T3 is to W1. We're going to make here a star connection or Y, and then we're going to connect then we're going to connect the X1 to U2, then V2 to U1, and then W1 to W2, and then W2 to Y2, and to X2. We're going to connect that. So far we've now accomplished the star connection. So now let's first connect the forward circuit. So first is the line 1 goes to the overload relay number 95. Again, the circuit breaker line 1 goes to the overload relay 95, and then overload relay number 96 goes to the red button of the push button, and that is the stop. And then we're going to connect the stop to the green button. That means forward, because we're going to connect the first forward circuit. And then green button goes to the magnetic contactor 2 to 61, and then 62 goes to the magnetic contactor 1 to A2, and A1 goes to the line 2. And then the next is we're going to connect the red button to the number 13 magnetic contactor 1, and then we're going to connect the number 14 magnetic contactor 1. Number 14 goes to the green one, or we can connect into the number 21 into the magnetic contactor 2, either of that. So that's the forward circuit. So now let's try to turn it on. Let's try to test it. Now let's turn it on. Now we're going to push the green one. Now I'm going to stop. As we can see, the motor is definitely works. Before we proceed to the reverse circuit, we must connect first the magnetic contactor 2 to magnetic contactor 1. So first is the line 1 to line 1, yeah. And then line 2 connect to the line 2, and then line 3 connect to the line 3. Then T1 connects to the T2 of the magnetic contactor 1, and the magnetic contactor 2 connects to the T2 connects to T1, and T3 connects to T3. So now we've accomplished the connection of the magnetic contactor 2 to connect the magnetic contactor 1. So now let's proceed the connection of the reversed circuit. So now let's connect first the red button into the other green button, and then the green push button connects to the magnetic contactor 1 number 21, and then number 22 connects to the A2. And then A1 connects to the line 2. And then number 13 in the magnetic contactor 2 connects to the red push button. And then the magnetic contactor 2 number 14 connects to the green push button. And now we finally complete the forward reverse circuit. So now let's test if it will work. So now I'm going to put into the circuit breaker. So now let's start first the forward push button, and now it rotates, and next let's stop, and next is we're going to test the reverse push button, which is the other green push button. And now it counterclockwise. As we can see, the forward reverse circuit is now work, and it is success.